While Greta is still thinking how to welcome you, I will tell it. We are going to talk about the most important thing for the Atlantic crossing, which is actually the safety preparation. Greta is still thinking. In the meantime, we have put together a checklist which you can find down in the description, where we have all the items. We will talk about a few very important ones here in the video, and the rest you can find in the checklist.
Exactly, so...
Welcome!
Slowly finding my voice again. Okay, this video is all about safety preparations of your sailboat for starting the Atlantic crossing. Safety is so important during the Atlantic crossing because you will be out there in the ocean literally on your own. It will be very hard for rescue or help to be there with you, so you need to have everything on board which will allow you to cope with whatever problem you are facing, or at least resist so long as help will be there for you. But enough talking, enough introduction, let's start with it. The most basic and also most important safety equipment is your personal safety vest. This thing will assure that if you ever fall overboard, which should never happen, keep in mind that's still the worst thing that can happen out there, never fall overboard. But if it happens, this thing contains everything which should assure to keep you alive as long as possible for the others to get you back on board or for help to come and rescue. Safety vests can be inflatable or not. This one is one of the inflatable ones. In general, for longer crossings, these are a lot more comfortable because they allow you to move easily around and still do everything you need to do on a sailboat. The safety vest should have a crotch strap, if I say that right, which goes under your legs and clips in. This will assure that when you fall into the water, when this one fills up and will drag you up, it will you cannot lose it. So even if you would slip through this, which probably should not happen, you will still not be losing because of the crotch strap. We bought the safety vest the moment we moved on board off Fortuna, when we did not have so much experience yet. Looking back, I would now buy a safety vest which does not weigh so much, because you will be having this on the whole time while you're in the Atlantic Ocean, and actually after a while you can really feel the weight on your shoulders. But now let's look inside. There are a lot of goodies in here that you should have in your safety vest when you buy it for the Atlantic crossing.
For the Atlantic crossing, we bought a spare gas bulb, because if it inflates, it would be worthless. So have a spare one of those and check that the existing one is working properly. Beside that, it should have a spray hood going over your head and protecting you not from rain but from waves, because the most dangerous thing out there is to drown, because you get so much water in your mouth while breathing and it fills your lungs with salt water. So the spray hood should really help for that. Beside that, there should be a lot of reflective material on it, a light, whistle, and we attached the Man Overboard AIS beacon to it. So in case it inflates, it explodes, rips off the trigger and sends an AIS signal to our GPS plotter. So we know all the time the position of the person that fell overboard. Very important, all the products we show you are not sponsored or anything, we just show you the products we chose. Very important for the Man Overboard beacon is that you are able to test it before. There's a procedure, you know if it is working and if it is sending a signal, and that it sends this AIS system to your GPS plotter.
course.
It even works with dresses.
Works with dresses. So the last important thing of our safety vest is this small but very stable loop, which you use to attach your safety line to it. Wait here. This piece goes to my side, which has one hook, which should be self-closing, so this clicking system here, and which also assures that it will not open from its own because it cannot be pushed back. On the other side you should have two of those clips. Why are they two? Because so you can assure that always one of the hooks is connected to the sailboat when you're moving forward, so you always hook one and the other, they're kind of walking forward like that.
Or for the fish, very important. Very importantly, we use them also for the fish, one for the boat and one for the fish. This is why we bought new safety hooks, basically with one for the fish, one for me, and one for the boat.
Why we have 3 hooks here.
Yeah, that's another way to using this. But normally those would be used to hook into the big safety line that runs around the boat, or strong clipping hooks, which we did install here inside in the cockpit. So clips like these, where you hook yourself inside and they assure that you will not fall overboard in strong waves or even if the boat would capsize. The other part are the safety lines. This is our safety line. We normally only install them when we have longer crossings. They run from the back to the front. So if we ever have to move forward, we can clip into them and are safely secured all the way when we have to make some changes in front of the boat.
In case someone falls overboard, we have two important man overboard equipments with us. One is the horseshoe, which you use when the person is still near or close to the boat and you try to get the person inside the boat. So the horseshoe is attached to the boat with a long safety line. We have added a drogue anchor to stop it from flowing away. We have added a whistle, a reflective tape with the boat name, and a light. Both the light and the reflective tape is important to see the person in the wave in case it gets dark. If you're not close to the person or drifting or sailing away from the person, you have to mark the person that fell overboard with your Danboy. We have chosen an inflatable one because it uses less space, and it includes another horseshoe. The person with the life vest can attach to the Danboy, so basically it's a 2-meter long pole and you can clearly see the person in the waves. It's especially important for the Atlantic because the waves are very high and you could lose a person very quickly.
Now, for the unfortunate event that you actually want to get off the boat and into the sea, you need to have a life raft on board. This is really your last decision that you should ever take, only when your boat is really heavily drowning and there is no way to rescue it anymore, because once you get in here, your life chances are getting very thin, so this should be definitely your last resource. Life rafts come in different sizes, like most of the safety equipment. It depends on the size of your boat, or mainly actually on the number of crew that you have on board, because obviously the more crew members you have, the more people need to fit inside, because all people need to fit inside here. So be aware that whatever crew you choose for the Atlantic crossing, this life raft has to be adapted to it. There are inshore and offshore versions of life rafts, so obviously when you're doing an Atlantic crossing you need to get the offshore one. The life raft is secured to the boat by the one point where it was designed to be connected, because once the unfortunate event happens you will have to open the holder. This will all fall into the ocean. Out of here 50 meters of rope will emerge and it will slowly drag away the life raft. Once all the 50 meters are out and the life raft is in safe distance, you actually pull it and this whole thing will explode, revealing the life raft. In our case there's already a knife inside, because obviously once everybody is in the life raft you have to cut yourself loose from the sailboat or from your boat, otherwise you will drown with it. Actually the most difficult part is to get into the life raft. We would recommend everyone to do a safety demonstration before, or in general a safety course before they go for the Atlantic crossing, because you don't have to get only yourself to the life raft but also the grab bag.
What you actually bring to the life raft is your grab bag or grab bags. We had 3 grab bags, one with water and food, another one with the safety and medical equipment, and a third one with all the flares. If you have more grab bags, you can all attach them to each other with a line, so in case you have to take them out or you have to swim to the life raft, you can tow them behind you and won't have to take 3 bags. Very important is also to assign roles, like in case of an emergency, who is doing what, who is taking the grab bags, who is launching the life raft, who is taking care of the boat, whatever. Really important to assign roles before you start. One of the most important things inside the grab bag is also the Eperp. So basically it sends a signal which is like 24 or 48 hours available, sending through satellite and revealing that you're in distress, and all the Coast Guard units will get the signal and know your location and hopefully come for you.
This was it guys for the first important safety equipment that you should have with you once you go for an Atlantic crossing. We did put all those things and a lot more into our Atlantic crossing preparation guide. If you go for an Atlantic crossing, we think there are all information in there that you need to do it safely and sound. We will also talk about provision and sail setup and a lot more. There are actually also some videos coming up for that, so stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button and we see you next week. Bye!